What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to go ahead and talk about a concept that I like to call levels versus price action. And today is a fantastic example of how a key supply level, just because we moved into it, does not mean that there was a short entry. Today, the market pretty much ripped higher on a zombie grind all morning, all afternoon, breaking through multiple supply levels. And something that I get a lot from people on the live stream, every single morning we live stream and share these levels. People come back to those live streams and say, hey, Desi, that supply level didn't break. It was not good. It wasn't a good level. That comment right there tells me that most people do not understand the concepts of levels versus price action. A key level is an area of interest. It's an area where the market has previously shown very key rejections or support. It's an area where opportunity could arise. Now, price action is what we actually have to read to understand whether that opportunity is going to come about. So just because the market is trading into a major level does not mean that we're going to get the same rejections or same holds as we previously did. Now, there could be a higher chance of that, but how do we know if that's for sure? We read the price action, and that is what we are paid to do. If you really think about it, key levels are designed to be broken. If a key level never broke, if a key supply and key demand never broke on the market, what would the market do? It would go sideways for eternity, right? Because that supply would never break, that demand would never break. We would go sideways forever. And so they are designed to be broken, and this is where opportunity arises. But our ability to read price action at those levels, at those areas of interest, is what makes us money as a trader. And so today was a fantastic example of how a key level, a key supply level on the market never showed enough to warrant a short entry, and reading the price action 100% showed you that. And I'm going to share with you a very important tip in today's video to decide whether a reaction is happening on the market, whether a supply level is truly going to move the market lower or a demand level is truly going to move the market higher. We're going to talk about that in today's video once we jump onto the charts. So if you are someone that has found yourself shorting a high or longing a low and then it just continues to go in the direction you don't want it to go, you probably are reacting too quickly to a key level before it actually shows you that something is changing. This means you are anticipating price action off of key levels rather than reacting to price action off of key levels. And so I hope that today's video will help you out. So guys, heading into today, we saw a very clear area on the market, an area of interest between the 6760 and 6750 area on the S&P 500 futures. We saw very clear reactions here both Wednesday and Thursday of last week, which caused downside on the market. Now, coming into a new trading day, this is all the information that we have. We have historical data, and we have to see what has the chart done at this major area before, and can I build a game plan around that level again, right? So we definitely had the idea to potentially fade 6750 and 6760 today. Why would you not? You saw what happened here. You saw what happened here. So that is an opportunity at a key area of interest, a key level. And now we have to see, what does price action do here? This does not mean it's just an immediate short. Hey, if we go here, I'm instantly short. That's not what that means. With that mindset, you get stuck in days like today, where the market never goes lower, it squeezes through that level, and it creates opportunity to the upside. So people that are on both sides and unbiased here actually make probably most of the money on these days, because they see, hey, that supply is not rejecting. That is a plus for the bulls, and I should be looking at the trend of the market, the trend of the price action, rather than just guessing and anticipating what a key level is going to do. Now, that doesn't mean that key levels are invalid. That still means that, hey, this was a valid reason to look for rejections. If you looked for rejections on Thursday at the same rejection that happened on Wednesday, you made a hell of a lot of money, right? So you come into the trading days with your levels, with your thesis, with the idea that you're going to watch price action at these key spots, but you only become profitable and you only get paid if you read it correctly at the area of interest. Yes, we can all create key levels, But what really sets us apart as traders is our ability to read the action when we approach those levels and when we approach those areas of interest. And so today we can see that we went right through it, right? We can see in the past we went up into it, rejected right here, and rejected. And so what I want to do is I want to show you what happened on those 2 days when we actually went lower off this supply. You guys can see right here that we pushed higher into this supply. We saw failures at that level and we rolled back over. Now, there is something very key here that I want to talk about, and this is really the tip that I talked about in the intro of today's video. You can see on this failure of this supply, not only did we reject that rejection area, but we also broke under the low of day or just a previous area of support, right? I'm not going to just say you have to wait for low of day to break. It could just be an area of support where you can expect downside continuation. And so here on this day, this is back on Wednesday of last week, I believe. Yes, Wednesday of last week, we can see we moved higher into that supply, which was great. Maybe you didn't catch that short because you're not going to just anticipate it rejects. I want to see something that proves that sellers are in this market, right? And so what for me would have proved that? You can see right here, this low of day turned into rejections on a break and retest rejection. That would be the area that I'd say, hey, we failed supply, we failed this low, now I have confidence to establish a short position. Let's go ahead and look at what happened on Thursday. This is also perfect in accordance to what we just talked about from that Wednesday move. We can see here, we moved up into that same supply level, we moved lower into this demand, and we turned it into a rejection point. So what could have happened here for traders that took a short before this low broke? And you can sort of see it happen here. Ultimately, the shorts were right here, but on a day like today, the shorts weren't right. So looking at the difference between today and last Thursday should really show you quite a bit here. You can see that, yes, we did move into the same supply level last Thursday as we moved into today, but look at what happened as we moved lower. We attempted to hold this low, which could have moved back higher, and everyone that's shorting this high would have gotten taken out, similar to today. But ultimately, what happened that gave confirmation of the short side? This low of day, the previous area that held, turned into a rejection point right here on a break and retest rejection. The same thing that happened on Wednesday of last week. So let's go ahead and look at what happened today. We can see right here that we moved into that same supply level, 67.60 to 67.50. Look at how the market never curled back over, never even came close to touching the low of day, and maybe it's not even the low of day, but didn't even come close to breaking this area of support that was established intraday, right? So we moved higher into supply, we pulled back, but we never saw any kind of break and retest rejection. We never saw any type of previous hold turn into a rejection point. Yes, we moved into area of supply. Yes, we moved up into the area of interest, but the price action was in an uptrend the entire day, right? And so there was, I'm sure, a ton of people today that were just slamming shorts here, anticipating that this would reject, taking SPX puts, taking SPY puts. This has to reject, right? It rejected previously, but has it shown you a breakdown? Has it shown you a retest of a low or a retest of this low, right? Has it given you any reason to look for a lower high and a downside continuation? You must look for this before you just go ahead and try to stab a high or a supply and try to get the market to fade lower. What I want to do now is I want to share with you a live video from our session today that we talked about how we saw the rejection at this level, but we needed to wait for price action to show us some type of a failure, some type of a continuation to the downside. And we didn't want to get stuck shorting into a grind to the upside. And you'll see in that video, when we first see the downside candle, the thing that we are doing is reading price action. We are not instantly reacting to trades. We are not taking shorts off of impulse. We are reading price action to see if something truly sets up. And we're looking to see if that downside gets quickly bought back up or if there is some type of a trend change. So go ahead and enjoy that live trading video where you're going to see us react to the market action at this exact point that we're talking about. And after you watch that live video, make sure to go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about the video. If you have any questions, make sure to press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch up with you guys in the next one. Peace out. Okay, look at this that's our 610 Qs on the money. Look at that 610 Qs on the money. Look at this SPY supply, okay? All right. Okay. Let's see how this gets bought up. Now, this is where we're now using this as information. If this gets bought up, we know we're in a zombie grind. Let's see what happens here. Does this get instantly bought up? You're right at SPY VWAP. You are in supply, but let's see how price action reads. Yeah, it's getting bought up. At least for the moment. Let's give it time. If you break this ES low here, you might fill this straight up move from this morning. Look at this. If you fail this little 43 low, you might get that gap. You might fill this straight up move. Yeah, Weibo, you got the right mindset there. But hold on, before you look short here, man. I'm still cautious. I'm still cautious that this gets bought up because you're still seeing some strength on equities. Just be careful on the first pullback in a grind higher, right? This is the first sign of weakness. It might be just to attract sellers. So be careful here. Let's wait this out for a second. If this gets wicked back higher, you're definitely not going to want to be short into this SPY VWAP here. Look at this SPY VWAP trying to hold. We're getting bid up instantly off this drop. I think you're going to go higher here. I would be careful on the short side right now. Equities seem very, very sort of just willing to go higher.